Hi guys, it's Laura. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a update to my 19 eyeshadows in 2019 Project Pan. I kind of feel like I'm on Project Pan time and that time is slipping away. So I feel like I can't believe it's already April. Every time I turn around I feel like I have to, or I'm starting a new Project Pan or need to do an update. I'm actually late on this. I was going to film it at the end of March, but didn't happen. So anyways, here we are. I selected at the beginning of the year 19 eyeshadows that I want to pan throughout the year. And I don't think I'm doing as well as maybe I thought I was going to do, as I thought I would do a little bit better, but I think I'm just slow at panning eyeshadows. I don't have a lot of, I have pretty small eyes. I don't have a lot of lid space, so I feel like I don't use a ton of eyeshadow every day. I do wear eyeshadow probably 6 days out of the week, so pretty frequently. It just kind of depends on, you know, what's going on that day. If I'm, even on my days off, I'll try to put eyeshadow on. If I work early in the morning, the earlier I have to work, the less makeup I put on. So that just kind of depends on how much time I have in the morning. So I picked, what I did is I picked, I think, 10 single shadows, like duos. The duos I counted as 2, and then I picked 9 palettes. The palettes I picked at random, and then I picked a shadow from each of these palettes. I didn't randomize it because I know some people randomize like every single eyeshadow that they're gonna do, but because I'm new to project panning and I'm not that confident with color, I just thought I was gonna get some really weird colors that I wasn't gonna know what to do with. So I wanted to make it easier on myself in my first go around. So anyways, so we'll just go through. I'm gonna start with the ones that I've hit pan on. So I've hit pan on 3 out of the 19 shadows. So let's just jump right into it. So the first 2 that I hit pan on, the first one I hit, or these are both in the Ipsy NYX Trio. Came in an Ipsy box years ago. It's quite a few years old. I don't think the quality is there anymore. So this is what they look like. The pigment is just not there, so I was not focusing on the black at all just because I tend not to use a black shadow all that frequent. So I did hit these 2 pretty early on, and they had a pretty good dip in them as well. So the next one that I hit pan on was my Wet n Wild Color Icon Single in Brulee, and this I was using as my all over lid shade. And I really, really like this. I think I had said in the video, my intro video, that I wanted to use this up, but I am using this e.l.f. Opposites Attract palette. I'm trying to unofficially pan this shade. I just wanted to see how far I could get. It was a brand new shade, so I'm kind of focusing on that instead of this, but once this is done, I'll probably go back to this and see if I can use any more of this up. Okay, so those are the 3 that I've hit pan on. Let's talk about the other ones and my progress. The next 2 that I'm kind of focusing on are, I'm focusing on some of the palettes and some of the singles at the same time. But I'm not focusing on all of them at the same time just because I find that that's overwhelming for me. I would like to be able to use a color day after day and actually see progress on it than using a little bit of everything and then maybe by the end of the year I'll have pan. So I'm focusing on, you know, maybe 5 shadows at a time. So this one is the Simply Vera Wang Duo. They don't make these anymore. It basically has like a champagne color and then a gold color. I use both of these all over the lid. I think they're really pretty. The problem I'm seeing with this is I apply them with my fingers, so I'm not seeing the dip that I might see if I were to use a brush. So if you guys have any suggestions, I'm trying to focus my finger in the same area, but I haven't seen a lot of progress on there. It looks like there's almost a little bit of hard pan, but it still seems to come off. So yeah, I'm working on those. And then the other ones that I am not really focusing on right now, but this is a L single shadow. There's no shade name, E12. They don't make these anymore either. This one I haven't focused on yet, but I might end up decluttering just because the pigmentation is, I mean, I had to press really hard to, but it just doesn't, it's so sheer, it doesn't show up. So this one I might end up decluttering, but again, I haven't played with it too much, so I'm going to leave it in for now. This is a Coastal Scents Revealed Smoky Eyeshadow Sampler. I think once I start focusing on it, they'll go pretty quickly because there's not a lot of product in here. 0.65 grams for the whole thing, so not a lot in there. And then I have Mini Shadow Crayon in Aspen Pine. This is from Chic. I have quite a bit of product left on here. I think I've only used this once. I'm really drawn to green colors, but I haven't figured out how I like to apply them, or like I don't know how to use them yet, but I did use this once and I used it like in the outer corner. I'm also not sure, I've never really paired cream with powder shadows, so I'm still playing around with that. The next one is my Urban Decay Single Shadow in Midnight Cowboy. This was a Ulta gift from quite a few years ago, and hopefully you can see it. I do have a pretty good dip in here. I'm using this as a inner corner highlight. Let's see if I can, it's reflecting off my light, so pretty good dip. I'm just using like a, almost like a pencil brush or a lip liner brush, and I'm using it in that one spot, so I'm hoping with continued use, I will definitely see pan by the end of the year. So those are all my singles and duos. So let's jump into the palettes. I'll start with the ones that I'm currently working on. I have my Lorac Mega Pro 4, and I am focusing on the color Mocha, which is right here. Let's show. I don't know. I'm definitely making some progress on it, and I've been using this quite a bit. I use this as a transition shade almost exclusively, to be honest. I've been using this a lot lately. So, I don't know. I can see definitely use, but there's not, maybe a slight dip, but not a huge dip in it yet. So, I saw somebody watch a video and they say they take about 2 months to go through to pan one of these, so I will still keep chipping away at that one. The next one I'm really excited as the progress of it, because for the longest time I wasn't seeing progress, and now I have a pretty good dip. This is the Dream Street and Kathleen Lights and ColourPop collab. So one thing too to note is when I got these, my colors are out of order. I got it off Ulta, so I don't know how that happened, but I think I'm working on this brown shade here, which I think is supposed to be in this spot, which would be called Elfish. But yeah, I have a pretty good dip right in the center there. I think you can see that pretty good. I used this as a outer corner to darken the outer corner. This is the only shadow I use for that, so I'm making good progress on that, and I'm really excited to have that dip in there because that keeps me going, and hopefully I will see pan here shortly. The next two I have used, or the next three I should say, I've used just a handful of times. I would say under 10, but I have dipped into them a little bit. The first one is from the Cargo Chill in the 6 eyeshadow palette, and this is Dundas Street, which is this kind of cool brown shimmer. I really like this shade. I think it's really pretty. I kind of use it as an all-over lid shade. And it goes well with, you know, these colors here as well. I mean, they're meant to be like a kind of a quad, so they pair really nicely together. So I think once I get to this palette, like once I'm ready to start using this, I think I'll enjoy it and won't have a problem using that. The next one I've used a couple times is from my BH Cosmetics Weekend Festival palette, and I am panning the shade Boho, which is right here. It's a lot, I mean, it's pink, but it was a lot more pink on the eye than I expected. Again, just a nice all-over lid shade. And like I said, I'm trying to use the Simply Bare Wing eyeshadows as lid shades right now. So once, if I hit pan on those, then I might move to this one or one of the other ones. But yeah. This is a really good quality palette. If you're looking for a colorful palette, the mattes are stunning. The next one is this Profusion Bold, just says 9 shade multi-finish eyeshadow palette. And so I picked this shade right here. I thought I was originally going to use it as an all-over lid shade, but it is a little bit too dark, I think, for that. I think I tried it once. So I don't know, I might end up using it, and it's not that good quality. I mean, it's a little darker than my skin tone, so to do all over the eye I don't think will work, but I can definitely going to try using it as a transition shade. And if I do that, if I use it that way, I think it'll be easy to go through. I don't know how big these pans are. Let's see. It just says net weight 20 grams, so at least 2 grams each, but hopefully the pans are pretty shallow. That won't be a problem. So maybe after I'm done with Mocha from the Lorac Mega Pro 4, I can use that as a transition shade. And then the next 3 items. So one thing that I learned, or well, I have four palettes left. One thing I learned doing this project pan is I think I would rather pick eyeshadows as I go along, whether that's roulette style or whether just me picking. I think I want to do that for a couple. Next year I'm going to do it differently. Not sure how yet. I'll decide when we get there. But 2 things I learned. One, picking products is probably one of the funnest part of project panning. So to be able to do that throughout the year, I think would keep it more interesting, and also my tastes have changed even since January. And in January I was really into warm tones, and I don't know if anybody else felt it, but I kind of felt a shift. Like myself, other people I watch on YouTube, all of a sudden it's like, you know, I'm kind of sick of the warm tones and I kind of want to use cool tones. So for me, I kind of felt this shift towards cooler tones, and some of the colors in here in the last 4 palettes are very warm tone and very tones that I'm like tired of, I'm not interested in. So what I might do is I might actually switch the color from, I'm going to keep the same palette, but I might change shades. I'm not going to decide now because who knows, maybe by the time I'm ready to roll one of these in, I may be back to warm tones and then I might keep the same one. I don't know. So I will show you the palette and the shade that I was originally going to pan, and then maybe a couple that I'm interested in if I change my mind. So the first one is the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette, and I was going to pan Amaretto, which is right here, and I'm looking at like some of these mattes here. I feel like, but then I feel like Too Faced I heard is really hard to pan, or is it Tarte? Maybe it's Tarte, I don't know. But maybe one of these lid shades down here. This one's just a little bit red, and I'm not feeling that one right now. So we'll see. We'll see what happens when I get there, if I get there. The next one is the Milani Pure Passions, and this is like an all warm tone. So, and I chose this one down here. This one is definitely a reddish brown. I don't know if you'll be able to see that. It's right in the middle there. I don't know if I would use that. It's kind of a weird, it's not, I mean, I guess I could use it in the crease. I'm not sure how I would use it. I like a little thing, something a little bit darker for the outer corner, but it's too dark for like a transition shade. And I don't really use a crease shade, I just do a transition shade. Just because I have small eyelids, I don't go in with 2 shades. I mean, I could, I don't know. So I might switch that one. Again, it's really warm tone. I was looking at maybe one of these shimmers up here. Not really sure, but so right now I'm still going with this one, but like I said, I might change my mind later. The next one is from BH Cosmetics. It's the Foil Eyes 2. This has some really pretty colors. They're all shimmers. I had picked this pink one, and actually that one might still be the one I'm going to go with. It's definitely like the most probably colorful one out of the shadows. They're pretty neutral, the ones I've picked, just because I know that's what I wear from day to day. But I might try, just for kicks and giggles, I might try to pan that one. So we'll see how I feel when I get to it. And then the last one, this one is kind of, this is from Profusion. It is the Ultra Warm Palette 35 pan. This is what it looks like. Obviously all warm tones, and I picked this shade right here, which is like a red shimmer. This is really the shade that I am opposed to the most out of all these. Now when I look at that, that's probably the least, or the one I would want to pan the least when I look at this. So I don't know what I was thinking in January. Now I'm kind of thinking like this shade here, it's kind of a light brown shimmer, or this gold, or one of these like champagne colors up here. I could see more so than this one. So like I said before, we'll see what happens when I get there, but I don't want to force myself to use something that I'm not enjoying. So if I decide I'm gonna change it up, then that's what I'm gonna do. So thanks for joining me. I'm gonna try to do some photos of these on Instagram, the ones that I've made progress on. Probably not all of them, because that's a lot of shadows. So yeah, so like I said, I think next year I might do a different eyeshadow project. I really like Alexi, Rebecca Morgan, Too Much Tosh. They're all doing kind of where they pick 5, and once they hit pan, they rotate something new in. I think that one might be a little bit more up my alley, because that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm only focusing on 5 at a time anyways. The other one is, I think Sarah Rose just started one where she's rotating 5 every month, whether she hit pan or not. So that one's also nice, because I have a ton of eyeshadows, so to try to sit and pan one all the time, you know, I might get to rotate more if I do it that way. So I haven't really decided yet, but I'm still gonna stick with this because I'm still making progress, even if it's not as much as I wanted to see. But yeah, so I will update this again. Like, I'm doing quarterly updates on these, so March, April, May, at the end of June, hopefully I can update again. Check out my other project pans. I will list them down below, and check me out on social media as well. And I hope you have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye.